School kids around the world will take to the streets today to demand action on climate change. Thousands of people across Auckland, Wellington, Taranaki and Christchurch are expected to attend the demonstrations. Environmental groups and firefighters are joining the school strike for climate, which will include a march on Parliament. Fridays for Future's Lucy May says after the recent floods, people are starting to pay attention.
It's taken us a while to really connect properly with the other groups from the rest of the country. We've got so much momentum now, we're just getting started really.
Auckland Transport warns the march will likely disrupt traffic in the city centre from 3 to 6 p.m. The remaining members of the Cyclone Recovery Task Force will soon be finalised. Chaired by Sir Brian Roche, the group will focus on the immediate recovery and future climate resilience, as well as issues around managed retreat. Otago University research professor Janet Stevenson says for Māori, managed retreat is complex. She says for some communities, relocation is part of their history, while others are deeply opposed. Stevenson says some are anticipating relocating but face challenges.
They may only have 1 or 2 blocks of land in their own title, in their own tenure, and if those aren't in safe places, then where do they go?
Meanwhile, the temporary closure of WAITANGI Bridge on State Highway 51 is likely to cause delays today. Waka Kotahi is asking people to do their part to help keep traffic flowing between Napier and Hastings by thinking twice about whether they really need to travel. Load testing will close the bridge 10 a.m. to 3 this afternoon. A tax change requiring Uber and Airbnb to charge GST on rooms and rides will now be determined at the election. National has dropped its previous support for the law change and is promising to reverse what it's calling an app tax that will worsen the cost of living crisis. Political editor Jason Wall says more.
The government says the bill will level the playing field for Kiwi companies who have been at a disadvantage to their overseas competitors because of the GST rules. And in September last year, Willis agreed. But she's changed her tune after the select committee process found the rules could see players such as Uber and Airbnb raise their prices in New Zealand.
A variety of factors could be causing landlords to charge more. A government survey has found 26% of landlords increased rent in the 6 months to May last year. Almost a third of landlords cited the healthy home standards as a driver of their decision to increase. Infometrics economist Brad Olsen says it doesn't make sense to fully blame government regulations. He told Tim Dower, even when costs fall, landlords won't necessarily drop their prices.
So this is not a full cost recovery business. We know that actually a lot of the time it's supply and demand that is driving where rents are moving.
Auckland Transport has decided the future of 3 projects in the city's inner suburbs. It's decided to pause improvements to Grey Lynn and Westmere cycling and walking projects due to funding restraints. Decisions around a project for Great North Road between Ponsonby and Crummer Roads will be passed to councillors on the Transport and Infrastructure Committee. It will review it later this month. Meanwhile, a project to soup up Point Chev Road, Neola Road and Garnet Road will go ahead.
Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. To stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald, click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here and head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.